Great day. Say, for most fishermen, catching fish like this is easy. Cleaning fish like this to some people is a chore. Tell you what, you follow me in the next few minutes, we're going to show you how to take the chore out of cleaning fish. All fish are pretty much the same. They all have tails, they all have dorsal fins, they all have a backbone, they all have rib cages. Filleting them out is simple, except for one species, the northern pike. He's got them nasty little rib bones that are called Y bones. We'll show you how to take them out. Now it's time to fillet our catch. I like to use the 6-inch Rapala. Why? Because of the tapered blade designed for filleting fish and a super razor sharp edge. I keep that edge on my blade with a stone and a stick. We've got hundreds of species of fish. Obviously, we're not going to be able to show you how to clean them all, but we're going to show you how to clean some of them. And we're going to start with a panfish. First of all, we're going to show you how to scale and fillet them, just like this. First of all, scale the panfish up nice and easy. Scales come off really easy. You kind of work the scale around a little bit. These sunfish are pretty tough. Crappies are a lot easier. Now, take the fillet knife and cut right alongside the gill plate like this. Then we take the fillet knife and just work it right along the dorsal fin, just like this. Just point the blade down nice and easy. You'll come up against the ribs in there. And then as you get past the rib cage, which ends right about in here, take the knife all the way through, as you can see there. And just slide the knife, keeping the blade tilted down towards the backbone, all the way out. Then, pick up the fillet with your thumb, just like this. And you can see the ribs coming up over the rib cage, nice and easy, just kind of like you're going to cut on them. Just cut up over them. Once you get over the top, then take the fillet knife and then run the blade down, just the tip of it. This is why a 4-inch blade works so nice for staking these fish out or filleting them out. And then hold a fillet like this and just cut right alongside. Now you can do this real fast. Takes practice. You have a complete fillet there. No ribs, all meat. The scales are gone, the skin is still on it. It'll taste just like fried chicken, you might say. Only they're going to be fish. Now the other side, if you want to take the skin off, this is the easy part. Cut right down through like this. Take your tip of your fillet knife and come right out here, right back to the back fin, right there. And come right along it. Then turn the fish and start your cut the top of the fin. In fact, if you could get down here a little further, it's easier if you get right close to the edge of the board. Come right down and take the tip and work down to the rib and right out past it. Okay, the knife blade comes out here and then you just fillet it right on out. Pick up the fillet again, cut down to the rib, up over the rib, and then you just pull and the fillet comes right off. Now, we'll dispose of the entrails. And as you can see right here, there's no meat wasted. The rib cage is still inside, and it's real easy to do it this way. Now, we'll take the skin off by laying the fillet down close to the edge of the board. Lay the knife flat and just work it nice and easy. And just push along like so. Pick up the fillet. And you have a fillet without the skin, and you have a fillet with the skin, whichever you prefer. And there's not a bit of meat wasted. It's completely there. Now for the real small panfish, we're going to show you how to scale them, cut the heads off, and prepare them for frying them whole. Okay, first of all, we're going to scale them both. You take the scaler and just work the scaler up along to the gill plates. Kind of work it around a little bit like that. It's a lot easier to scale and it makes a lot less mess. Start at the tail and get real close to the fins, like that. Sunfish scale pretty hard. That's why a lot of people will fillet the skin off. Crappies scale easy. They're real easy, real soft scales. Work it all the way up both sides, turn it over. Do the same thing here, like this. In fact, we're even going to show you how easy a big crappie is scaled. We'll bring the big one over, like this, and we'll start right at the tail, work it right on up, close to the fin, and look at here, just like that. Just kind of run it up to there. We'll put that aside now, because we're going to do something different with that one in just a second. Now, pan-fried whole. Take the knife, put it right in there, and come right out at the base of the fin, right there. Take it like so, cut it across, turn it over, cut it across, and hold your knife on the backbone and just pull. All the entrails come right out, like so. All you got to do is take your thumb, put your thumb in there like this, take the point of the knife and pull it out, and you've got a clean crappie. Sunfish do the same thing. Go right at the base of the stomach, just point the knife right across and come up with it. Make one nice little slice like that. A light slice so you don't cut through the innards. Hold the knife down, bend the head up, and pulls everything right out, just like that. See how simple that is? It works slick. And I'll tell you, take your thumb again, just pop it out, take out the membrane, and you've got a clean sunfish. Now, another little trick. If you like them extra crispy, what you do is take a little slice right there, like that, put a little slice like that, and then deep fried, pan fried, they'll curl up in the pan. They are delicious. Okay, the big fillet, and you can use a 4-inch knife like this. And do the same thing we did filleting out the big bluegill. Come right down nice and easy. Follow the backbone right to the tail. Pick up with your thumb. Go right to the rib cage. You'll feel the tip of the knife. And then pick it up. You cut over the ribs. You cut down along the rib cage with the tip of the knife. Come to the base of the rib cage and then cut the fillet off. Boy, have you got an excellent piece of meat there. I mean, it is completely boneless. Now, we're going to show you how to do it another way. Take a longer fillet knife, like the 6-inch Rapala. Cut right down through to the base of this back fin. Now, a lot of guys will take the knife and they'll cut right through the ribs like this, see? Like that. Pull out the fillet like so. You lose a little bit of meat along here if you're not real careful. So drop that in there now. Take the ribs out like so. Start at the front of the rib cage, like this, and just work them right along so. And come right out with the ribs, like that. One little flick of the blade. Then take the hide off or the skin off by holding the fillet like this. And now grab the fillet, the skin, and just pull a little bit. In other words, take your hand like this and pull back and hold the knife still. Completely boneless fillet. These instructions are on all your Rapala knife packages. No meat wasted, right down to the scale. Another favorite fish all throughout the country is a walleye. It can be sought just about anywhere in this country right now. They're planting them all over. A method of cleaning them, we're going to take the method Rapala uses. We're going to cut right down through the fish like this to the backbone. 6-inch fillet knife or a 4-inch fillet knife. I do prefer to use a 4-inch when I'm steaking fish because you get closer to your work. And if you have a 6-inch out here, you're kind of wobbly sometimes. So take a 4-inch at an angle like this and just kind of run it just gently down alongside the dorsal fin, again out to the back fin, over the backbone, and come right out by this fin, the bottom fin, and gently just ease it down to the tail. If you got a lot of room, you can flip it over. But I'm going to do it just like we did the crappie and the bluegill. Go right down with a couple cuts to the ribs. Pick up the fillet like this. Just pull it up. And the meat will lift up off the ribs. And then take your knife and again point it like you're going to try to cut the ribs off. All you need is about that much of the tip right there. So go back and easily, gently go over the rib cage, pick up the fillet, and cut it off just like so. Okay. Turn the fish over. Again, cut right along the side of the fish. And by the way, there's gill plates here that are just razor sharp. And if you clean a lot of fish, I would recommend a fish cleaning glove like this. These things will protect your hands. You won't be cut by the gill plates or the fins. So if you clean a ton of fish, they are really great to have. Only a few, you probably wouldn't need them. Now I'm going to do the same thing here. I place the fish at an angle close to the edge. And I start at an angle just like this. I work it down nice and easy. And all the way to the tail and out. Then again, I pick up with my thumb so that I can see down to the rib cage, and I'm leaving the rib cage right on the fish, like so. There's a lot of different ways to clean walleyes, but this is probably the best way to save the most meat, one of the best ways. As you can see, you can look right through the fish. You hardly waste any meat whatsoever. The rib cage is here. You can see the backbone all the way down. You don't even waste one bite of meat. Now, the 4-incher, I'll lay down, I'll grab my 6-inch blade here, and I take the blade, starting at the base of the tail, just have a little thumb hold here, and then I grab the skin and I work it just like this. You can just pull real hard back on the skin, and you've got a beautiful walleye fillet, all ready for the frying pan. Delicious. As you can see, the skin, there's no meat wasted. The scales are all here. Do the same thing to the other side. Put your finger here. A lot of people will do it this way. They'll just hold the skin tight and they'll run the knife along like this. So there are different ways. It comes out the same. No meat wasted, a beautiful fillet ready for the frying pan. Now, if you want to get a real good bunch of meat, if you've got a limit of walleyes or if you've got a 2 or 3, 4-man limit, and you like something fondued, the cheek right here has got some meat in it. Don't let that go to waste if you've got some 2 and 3 pound walleyes. You get a bag of cheeks and put it in your favorite beer batter or fish batter mix, and you have got fondued fish that's just beautiful. Real tough meat, chewy, and it's got a taste all of its own. Walleye cheeks. Okay, now we're going to do it another way. We're going to cut just like this through the fish, and the thing has got tough scales. So take the tip of your knife, then put it at an angle like so, trying to keep the fillet knife close to the dorsal fin as possible, and cut it. Now this requires a little more work. Do the other side the same way. Just come underneath, and here's a trick too to keep your knife a lot sharper, because these scales are just like cutting through sandpaper. You just come at an angle and then cut through, and then use the tip of the knife like this all the way down. Take the same thing here, keep close to that dorsal fin back here. And very carefully. You need an extra sharp knife for that. You waste very little meat. The belly meat stays right on the fish. And, oh, before we forget, let's get that other cheek. Just cut across there just real easily and take your thumb. As you can see, you're peeling it right back out. Real light skin. Don't let these go to waste. You'll love them. Okay, now taking the rib cage out, lay the knife like so. Come underneath like this. Another cut like this. And then lift the rib cage right up. It's gone. Trim off a little fat. Turn the fillet over. And do the same thing. Take the hide right off it. Like so. A bigger fillet. Great bunch of meat. Put it in your favorite fish batter. You can broil them, your favorite recipe. Pan fry them. Or whatever way you like your fish. I even like to put them on a grill and on aluminum foil and baste them with garlic butter. And they are great charcoal that way. There is a roll of bones in here you'll have to be careful of. And I'll show you how to take those out in just a second. Like there. Okay, for a lot of guys that like to pan fry them, you have a little roll of straight bones on all fillets. So run your knife right alongside, like so. Pull that back like this. The bones are in the bottom of the fillet. So run right along this here. Nobody likes to eat bones. And you'll have completely boneless walleye. Do that to all your fillets, especially on your bigger fish. Now we've got the bones out of the walleye fillets. We're going to show you how to take the wide bones out of a great big northern pike. And I mean a great big northern pike. This is a little better than the average size. And they fillet all about the same. Start the same way you would on most fish. You cut right down along the edge. And one thing, make sure when you cut here, you don't cut through the liver and the gallbladder, because that'll make the meat taste bad. So cut right down to the backbone. Now this is a little tricky because they don't have a fin up here like most fish, like bass or walleyes do. So you've got to kind of eyeball along here. There's cartilage. As you can see, you can come right to it. There's cartilage, and it's the centers of fish. And you kind of eyeball it till you get right to the very edge of here. So I'm going to go right along here, and hopefully I can stay right center of the fish. If you get off a little bit, just start all over again. And a sharp knife, like the 6-inch Rapala, works excellent. Just come right along like this till you get to that fin and go all the way across. Northern pike are excellent eating fish. If you've ever had one with the bones out, so you have no fear of bones, they are excellent. As you can see now, sometimes you'll get over the cartilage. So start along here nice and easy. Like so. Which I did wrong there. A little bit. There, we got it straightened out. Come right along like this and go all the way down. Pick up the meat. As you can see, the texture of the meat is just beautiful white. Almost as nice as a walleye. Now, northern pike, you can catch them in deep water, and they don't taste like those little ones in the back bays. They're just delicious eating fish. Again, I'm only using about this much of the knife right here. Staking it down over the rib cage like this. Look at that. Now, there is a great slab of meat. Leaving those fins on the bottom of the fish, you don't need all that belly meat. Now, we're going to lay this fillet right here like that. We're going to turn it over and do the other side. Just about out of table. Okay, come on down to this. As you see this fin here, then I take my finger and I just leave the belly right on the fish. Come along over the top of the fin and come all the way down to the back fin. Right there. we're going to take it, turn it over, oop, straighten it out as straight as you can possibly get it, and then start with the angle like this. And then all the way through to the tail. Okay, pick up with your thumb, cut down to the rib cage, pick up and start over the rib cage, again over the rib cage here. The Y bones we'll show you in just a second how they lie in there. You'll see them. In fact, they're right there. See them? See them little Y bones? That's the one we've cut out. They're connected to the backbone in the rib cage. So when you cut over them, again, we're leaving all the meat on the fish. There. We've got 2 fillets. The meat is completely gone, like so. We don't have room to get this thing in there, so we're going to set him over here in a garbage can. And once again, here are the Y bones. They run the full length of the fish, almost from the tail section all the way forward. And we'll show you how to take those out as soon as I take the skin off. Okay, start the same way you would a walleye or a bluegill or a bass, and run the knife. Now sometimes you get short, the 6-inch knife won't do it. So here comes the big one right here to get through on a big fish, a salmon or big northern, or whatever, big fish. This way, the longer blade like this big long rapala here works good. Now the northern pike skin's a little tougher, so you can actually get closer to the skin. Now this is a beautiful fillet. Look at that. That's a lot of poor man's lobster. We're going to tell you about that in a second too. When we get the Y bones out, we're going to discard the skin back into the pouch. Okay, the easiest way, actually, it's the easiest way to train somebody how, or show somebody how to take the Y bones out is use a shorter knife, like so. Measure the knife. This is a 6-inch fillet knife here, rapala. So you come back about 1 inch, because you're going to have to chunk the fish up anyway to fry them or broil them. So I usually come back about 1.5 inches, and then I cut right through, just like this. This is going to be so easy. You're going to say, why didn't I think of it? Okay, now we're going to take the filet mignon of the northern pike. We're going to cut right along the top of the Y bone, just like this. Cut down. You can only cut so far. And then I'm just cutting along. I'm not trying to cut through the bone. I'm just kind of filleting along. And the Y bones come down, and then they lay at an angle just like that, sideways. As you can see, them white lines are all bone. So then I cut right down alongside of it. That is the filet mignon right there. There it is. No bones whatsoever in that. Now, to get the bone completely out, as you notice, there's a lateral line right here. This is where the ribs were. This is the ribs over here. This is the top part of the fish. This is the ribs here, so go just above the lateral line like this. Cut down, and then turn your blade sideways, just like this. Completely sideways, and hold on to it and just cut real easy. And there is the Y bones right there. Simple. Some of you people have probably already done this, but this is the most simple, fast way. You get real good at it, you can actually go the whole length of the fish like this and come underneath. But this is the quickest method that I know, and completely no Y bones. There's a Y bone there. We'll put our filet mignon right back on it like that, and that is boneless northern pike. Now I'll show you how to do it the fast way. The same method. Measure off 5 inches on a 6-inch fillet like that. Cut right down through it. Turn the fish. Take your fingers and pull the Y bone back. Cut alongside of it like this. And nice and easy, come down to the edge of it. Again, cut underneath. and lift the blade sideways. Now remember, if you get behind a bone, you'll have to start all over again. And then lift up on the blade, and the bones taper right out. There's one there. In fact, we'll pull one out and show you what the Y bone looks like. We'll completely take them out. Why they're called Y bones? I'll show you in just a second here. As you can see there, there is the Y bone. And they're gone. A super way to prepare these fish is boiling them. They are really great. Get the water boiling, put a little seasoning, salt, and pepper in them. Get a can of butter going over on another burner on the stove. Put the fish into the boiling water. It'll quit boiling. When it comes back to a boil, let it boil for 3 minutes. Take it out, dry the fish, put the hot butter, season to taste, and you've got poor man's lobster. I mean, it is fantastic. Now's the time to finish these up. Put these fish in the pan, and we're going to have a shore lunch. I love catching them, and I don't mind cleaning them, but most of all, I love eating them. So I hope some of the things we talked about today will take the chore out of your fish cleaning. Until another day, good luck fishing.